Now, I do not condone buying things based on hype alone. But you're going to do it. Or at least you've thought about it because you're watching this video. So today I'm going to talk about one of the most hyped mouthpieces, other than perhaps the Meyer Bros. New York. It is the Selmer Soloist. So it came in two versions, the short shank, which was first, and the long shank, which came after. So named for their shank lengths, one of which is short, one of which is long, as you might expect. Both of these mouthpieces are held in pretty high regard in terms of vintage mouthpieces. They say the hard rubber quality is unmatched, it's better than anything that's made today. Quite frankly, I have never noticed a difference, but they are both very sought-after mouthpieces, and there is absolutely constant talk online about which one is better, which one you should get, which one's going to sound darker or brighter or whatever. So I thought the best way to put that to the test would be to play them side by side. Both of these are a D facing, both of them are original, both of them are just using the standard 2-screw Selmer ligature, and I'm going to play them side by side so that you can hear the differences between each of them. Just a fair warning, I am more interested in exploring the physical properties of the saxophone and how these two mouthpieces are going to help me do that. There are a lot of jazz saxophonists who are really much better than me at playing scales and arpeggios really quickly and all of that business, so if you want to hear that, go watch another video. But without further ado, I'm going to play both of these now, and you will be able to hear the difference for yourself. First up is the short shank. So, if you're hearing them anything like I am, you'll notice both of the mouthpieces sound very, very similar. Both of them are reasonably bright, but both of them have quite a flexible tone. You know, when you push it, it gets really nice and bright, and when you pull it back, you know, it will be very sweet. With these two particular mouthpieces, the long shank does sound a little bit brighter to me, and the short shank has maybe perhaps a bit more complexity in the tone, but the difference is so subtle you could definitely, you know, correct for that one way or the other depending on how you're playing, maybe even what reed you're playing, and the response on both of them is just fantastic. They are very, very responsive mouthpieces, basically do whatever you want them to. I think the greatest trick to these mouthpieces is they don't really sound like anything. Maybe they sound most like you. And you can sort of push the tone in whatever direction you want. This sort of serves as a palette for you to put, you know, whatever colour into your sound that you desire, which is a big contrast to something like the Myers, which have a very distinct kind of focus core to the sound, or, you know, an Auto Link, which, you know, is really kind of lush and dark. These could be like the standard saxophone mouthpiece. Like, if you want to hear what your pure tone sounds like, either of these will really do the trick. Which one's better? I don't know. Which one would you prefer? Well, listen back to the recordings and see which one you think you might like. And then, of course, remember, when it comes to vintage mouthpieces like this, all of them are really kind of different, so maybe you'll get a short shank that's brighter and a long shank that's darker. As they went on in their production, the long shank turned into the Soloist style mouthpiece, which supposedly are much darker than either of these. But these earlier ones, which had the Soloist written on the table, have a really, really nice brightness to them. They're brilliant mouthpieces. So I hope you enjoyed this video, comparison between two really, really popular and very much talked about mouthpieces. I hope it's helpful to you in either choosing which mouthpiece you want to get between the two, or even deciding to consider it in the first place, and I will see all of you very soon.